We're at chapter 24. Leave a pumpkin emoji to let me know that you've been here from the start. True New Englanders love three things: the Red Sox, Duncans, and fall. Jeannie knew this, of course. She'd been one for the past decade after all. But Dream Harbor's Fall Festival was a whole new level of autumnal worship. The town square and surrounding streets were closed to traffic to accommodate the multitude of tents and tables and activities. There was pumpkin decorating, caramel apples, and cider donuts that Jeannie could not stop eating, even though she'd already had 3. Annie was selling pies and cookies, and anything made with apples or pumpkins or cinnamon spiced. There were tents selling all types of witchy wares, crystals and spell books and very authentic-looking witch brooms. Kids were lined up to get their faces painted, or for balloon animals, or to jump in the enormous bounce house set up on the lawn. It was madness. Delightful, apple pie-scented madness. Jeannie couldn't help grinning from ear to ear as she sold cider and pumpkin-spiced lattes to the seemingly endless line of visitors. The day had started out cold, with a light frost on the grass. But the late fall sun had warmed things significantly by midday. Jeannie had even unwound her giant scarf and tossed aside her fingerless mittens. Logan had worked beside her all morning, occasionally brushing his arm against hers or giving her a slow, secret smile. It wasn't exactly a proclamation of his intentions in front of the whole town, but she didn't want that anyway. The fact that he was here beside her was enough. More than enough. It was doing all sorts of warm, swoopy things to her stomach, making the whole morning feel like it was cast in a glow of happiness. She wanted to curl up in the feeling like Casper in a patch of sun.
Happy Fall Festival.
Isabel stepped up to the table wearing an eerily accurate Baby Yoda on her chest.
Hi, Isabel. Hi, Mateo.
Mateo Yoda gurgled happily in return.
Enjoying your first festival, Jeannie?
She asked, deftly sipping from her coffee while keeping the hot cup out of Mateo's reach.
Hi, Logan.
Isabel, hey.
I am. This is really pretty incredible. I like your hair.
Jeannie gestured toward Isabel's classic Princess Leia buns.
Oh, thanks. It's a whole theme. There's a Mandalorian and a little stormtrooper walking around somewhere, but Mommy needs coffee if she's going to survive this day. I woke up to said stormtrooper, leaning over my bed fully costumed at 4 this morning.
Yikes.
Said Jeannie with a grin. Isabel smiled back, her gaze flitting between Jeannie and Logan. Heat crept up Jeannie's cheeks. Isabel knew. Somehow, with her secret mom and romance reader powers, she knew exactly what was going on between Jeannie and Logan. Which was crazy because Jeannie wasn't even totally clear on it herself. In fact, she half expected Logan to put distance between them, to find cups to stack, or the next customer to serve. But instead, he shifted closer. His broad shoulder brushed hers again, the back of his hand skimming her fingers. It felt like a declaration. Isabel smiled wider. It was a declaration. Quiet and sure and steady, just like Logan. He linked his fingers with hers and Jeannie's heart fluttered. Maybe he was serious about this thing between them after all. Maybe knew Jeannie was about to get the sexy farmer, even if he had seen her as a hot mess again this morning. Her heart kicked up its flutter into high gear.
Well, I'll see you at the costume contest later.
Isabel said, excitement glinting in her eyes. She patted little Yoda on the head.
Come on, Yoda. Let's go find Mando.
Jeannie waved goodbye and Logan slowly pulled his hand away, needing it to help the next customer. But not before he glanced down at her with another secret smile teasing the corner of his mouth.
How long before everyone knows?
Jeannie asked, quietly smiling at the customers as she spoke. She could sense his shrug, without even looking at him.
Not long.
And you're fine with that?
She handed Greg and Sean their hot ciders.
Have fun, guys.
Greg raised his cup in a fall festival cheers gesture and the two walked away, leaving Jeannie and Logan alone for the moment.
I'm fine with it. Are you?
Jeannie swallowed hard, suddenly feeling the weight of what they were doing. Suddenly remembering that the eyes of the town on them meant that everyone would be looking at her too. What if things didn't work out? What if she actually had no idea how to have a serious relationship? She never had before. Panic flashed hot in her gut. Why was all of this occurring to her now, when this sweet, sweet man was trying so hard to make her happy? Had his kisses scrambled her brain that much? Damn it, Jeannie, get it together. She pushed a smile onto her face.
Yep. totally fine with it.
Logan studied her a minute longer, his blue eyes searching hers until she had to glance away, afraid of what he'd find there.
Okay.
Okay, great.
She said, putting as much sunny cheerfulness into it as she could.
Joe should be here soon, and then we can go do our judging duties.
Huh?
He glanced at her again, hesitant, a small frown creasing his brow. She forced her smile bigger. She'd wanted this, hadn't she? She'd wanted Logan to choose her for real. She forced her smile bigger. She'd wanted this, hadn't she? She'd wanted Logan to choose her for real. But somehow she'd conveniently forgotten that she had to get her shit together too. She shook her head like she could rid herself of these damn doubts. It was fine. Everything was fine. Maybe Isabel wouldn't tell everyone about the world's tiniest display of affection. Maybe everyone would be so swept up in the fall festivities that no one would care about her and Logan. Maybe she was deluding herself. Jeannie made a quick stop at Annie's tent before she had to take up her judging post with Logan. She just needed a minute of space and another donut.
Hey, George. Hey, Hazel.
Annie's baking partner stood behind the folding table turned makeshift counter. He greeted Jeannie with a friendly wave, while Hazel helped Annie unload more donuts from the fresh trays. How they managed to get warm donuts from the bakery to the tent was a mystery that Jeannie didn't have time to solve.
Another donut?
Annie asked with a grin.
Just one more.
Hazel studied Jeannie with shrewd eyes as Annie handed her another sugar-covered delight.
What's the matter?
Hazel asked, zeroing in immediately on Jeannie's turmoil. Did those glasses give her some kind of superpower? Jeannie glanced around. Most people had moved toward the costume contest stage, so the bakery tent was empty.
Well, it's Logan.
Annie crossed her arms over her chest, the teasing smile dropping from her face. George muttered something about suddenly having an interest in buying some sage to clear the bad energy out of his apartment and scurried out of the tent.
Of course, it's Logan.
Hazel said, leaning her elbows on the table.
What happened?
Jeannie fidgeted under Annie's stare.
Well, I think maybe he just held my hand in front of Isabel, so probably everyone will hear about that soon, and I really like him.
She swallowed hard.
And he likes me, I'm pretty sure. And now I'm freaking out a little bit because I don't think I'm very good at this.
At what?
Hazel asked, while Annie's narrowed eyes did nothing to ease the tension in Jeannie's gut.
At everything. Life, I think. Definitely dating. And you guys warned me, I know. And I just don't want to mess things up. And I don't want the town to hate me if I do.
She bit down on her lip and waited for their judgment or anger or support. She still wasn't sure which way it would go.
No one's going to hate you, Jeannie.
Hazel said. Jeannie glanced at Annie, whose mouth was set in a grim line. Not super convincing.
And besides, everyone is bad at life in one way or another.
Hazel added. Jeannie sighed.
It just used to feel like maybe I was good at it. I had my job and I did it well and I don't know, I did what I was supposed to do and now here, it's not as clear.
There's no supposed to do, Jeannie.
Hazel said, her eyes earnest behind her glasses.
I know, that's the problem, I guess. I feel a little lost.
Look,
Annie said, finally breaking her silence.
all you can do is the best you can do.
Jeannie nodded slowly, trying to take that in.
Okay.
Annie huffed.
Stop trying to do it exactly right. You and Logan are both adults. If you want to be together, then you should be.
Really?
Of course.
You're not, mad at me or something?
Hazel glanced at Annie's still rigid posture.
You are kinda giving that impression.
Annie shook out her arms.
Sorry, it's just there's a lot of history there. And when you first got here, we really didn't know if you'd stick around. And Lucy treated Logan like he was a stop on her little self-exploration journey. I don't want to see that happen again.
Right.
Jeannie swallowed hard, thinking about the stack of relisted papers currently sitting on her table, and the fact that at least one of her employees was working on some kind of quiet vendetta, and how she had no idea what to do about any of it.
You should go for it. With Logan. It'll work out, or it won't. But lucky for you, a town can't live without its caffeine. So people will have to forgive you pretty quickly?
A smile finally crossed her face and Jeannie relaxed. A little bit. Maybe they were right. She was overthinking this whole thing. And overthinking was not her style anymore. She blew out a long sigh. Right. Time to go soak in all the fall goodness. She would figure out who was sabotaging her business tomorrow. Not today. Not on Fall Festival Day. Not when she had a sweet, sexy man waiting for her to judge some adorable Halloween costumes. Duty called.
Okay, thanks.
She finished her donut.
I'm off to judge the costume contest.
Oh God, I forgot you got roped into that.
Hazel's face paled. Annie grimaced.
Yeah, good luck.